What's up, guys? Welcome to Simple Projects. I'm Jeff, and this is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, June 26th. Quick look at our 10-day weather here. Just came off a whole bunch of wind over the last week or so. Got a pretty good spurt there Saturday, Sunday, and now it really looks like we're fading into normal summertime activity. We have a little bit of this June gloom that's going to fade off here over the next couple of days, just early morning fog or overcast skies and then burn off. And we're pretty much in the 70s for the rest of the week with majority sunshine. So this is what we're looking for. And we've got a wind pattern that matches. You look at that. Come on, baby, stay still. So yeah, Thursday, Friday. So Thursday, Friday, we have a little bit of an eddy that we're talking about. It's going to be your overcast skies a little bit in the morning and then turning northwest in the afternoons, all below 15 knots, so nothing to be overly concerned about. Saturday's looking spectacular, and Sunday pretty much the same as well. And this trend continues on to next week, so hopefully we should get a nice little stint here, 5 or 6 days of some really nice weather, really nice wind conditions. Should make things pretty nice out there on the water before this gas tax decides to wreck our fuel bill. So it is what it is. But yeah, looking at our marine forecast here, a little west, 2 foot 5 seconds, and this kind of fades down through the rest of the week, just remaining ground. So nothing really concerning in the forecast whatsoever. But let's look at our charts here. So we definitely have warming condition on our inner waters here, cool water on the outside, so 58, 60 out here towards the edge of the outer banks. Inner waters, 69, 70 degrees. This is right where we should be this time of year. Usually I want to see 72 by 4th of July, so we're pretty close overall. And I think you're going to see the temps maybe go up another degree or two in the next 7 to 10 days or so. But overall, water temps are right on track. I want to take a look at our chlorophyll. We talked about that wind, and you see what happened out there out west. So that water is cold and turned over, pretty green, full of chlorophyll. Not really conducted to fishing out here on the west banks. And this is kind of what I expected to see in the beginning of June, but we got that tropical wind, and this was all crystal clear blue water then. So see how things have changed once we get back onto kind of a normal weather pattern. Moving down below, we still have a little bit of green water along the coast here. I was hoping that this would start to clear up here. Little spot around the upper 500. And then I really want to see this kind of lighter chlorophyll water push up and start to build a hard edge here along the coast. I think once that starts to shape up here, maybe in the next 4 or 5 days, we'll start to see some of those more fish that are down south start to slide up. I haven't really seen much of that yet. But yeah, we'll get back to that here in a minute. Let me slide back to our temperature chart. So island fishing, I told you guys last week, coming off the moon phase, that I thought the sea bass fishing was going to pick up pretty good, and it did. It really, really well. Last couple of days seemed to have slowed down today, and I kind of think it'll cool off over the next several days as well. But yeah, just now that we're at that 3 fish limit, really pay attention to those moon phases, especially if you got squid around. That's when they like to play nice. We can kind of time them a little bit, not always, but usually you can get the conditions in the moon phase to all come together, and you get some squid around. White sea bass seem to bite pretty good. They bit on multiple islands. So yeah, if you knew where to find the squid, then you knew where to find those white sea bass. Started at Nick. No one's really venturing this far with that wind. No real need to. There's been a good little run of sea bass at pretty much San Clemente, Catalina, and Santa Barbara Island. Again, you find the squid, you know where they're going to line up for the most part. Channel Islands, same thing. We had a good little squid run there. Some of those usual boats, the Endeavor, the Gray Light. All those guys didn't have any trouble finding them over the last few days, and it's going to be a pretty good bite overall for white sea bass. Also, occasional coastal sea bass being caught in some of the random half-day boats. I saw one of the half-day boats at San Diego caught one. So nice to see a little bit of a sign of coastal white sea bass this year. I haven't really seen them in a while, so I am encouraged by it. Let's talk about Catalina. So I haven't really heard much of the yellowtail action as of late. I know the guys are still trying to pound the sea bass. I think it's going to slow down here over the next couple days coming into the weekend. But if you're looking for something that's a little less crowded, it might be worth chasing. St. Clement Island has had a pretty good bite over the last few days. Yellowtail definitely biting as the sun comes up, kind of a sea bass thing. And early morning, the 2 a.m. to an hour after sunrise, or a little bit into the gray light, and then white sea bass kind of shuts down and then fades right into a yellowtail bite. So if you see the marks, whether it be sea bass or yellowtail, it's kind of a good place to start in the dark, and then kind of see how it goes as the sun comes up. And then once your spot kind of fizzles out, then start working your way up the front side or back side looking for those yellowtail in the daylight hours. Coronado Island's not really much going on. You see we got the green water problem here, and this island seems not to bite when it's green. It just doesn't do well. So pay attention on your charts. I don't think we got a good one-day chart down there. Let's see what we got. So yeah, one-day chart still showing a lot of green water down there. You really just need that to clean up, and then they'll end up biting a lot better than what it has been the last few days. The bluefin, what's been on everyone else's mind? Yeah, it seems like bluefin have been pretty piled up. The last week they're kind of parked out here on the 381. Over the last several days, they've been kind of working their way northwest up behind the island. And we start putting these conditions together. Like we got a little bit of a hard line of chlorophyll here. Looking at temperature, I mean, they're not too hard up on the chlorophyll. I mean, you're not gonna find them in the orange water, but green water is not really too much of an issue. But you really want to, start looking at trends and where they might end up here. So we start on the 381. They've been working their way up the backside, and it's pretty much following this temp line. You can kind of see here on the 3-day chart. And I would not be surprised if we started seeing them out here at the 7-Eleven, and eventually maybe some of the smaller fish up here at the Osborne over the next several days. So if you're traveling out to Santa Barbara Island, or you're coming down this way, I would definitely start working my way from the top down on this temp break, since they've been traveling kind of a northwest pattern. I don't see them come out there to the Tanner or Cortez with the amount of green water that's out there, but I think certainly the 7-Eleven, and as we found them last year, they're pretty much parked on this escarpment here off St. Clement Island. So last year they're 49 to Osborne to 7-Eleven, and they kind of worked their way up and down this area off the tip of St. Clemente. So being that they're at the 381, they've kind of worked their way up into this basin. I wouldn't be surprised that they popped up around the 7-Eleven this week. So if the water starts getting a little flatter, a couple more rides on it, again, that would be one place to check if you don't find them down here. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Moving down south, really no good signs of kelp patty fish as of late. I mentioned some of that green water down there. This is going to hold some of this stuff back. No signs of yellowfin yet. I still think we're 2 to 3 weeks away from yellowfin. But I would like to see a lot more kelp patty yellowtail. Seems like the numbers have kind of been down this year. And even the bluefin, there's kind of been like one spot of fish that's been moving around. Been doing okay with the amount of boat traffic that's been on it so far. But yeah, when they get driven over a lot, like I said, usually they peace out, or they put their nose in the mud for 4 or 5 days until things chill out, and then usually they pop back up. So we'll kind of see how it plays out over the next several days. Private boat guys, this is a long ways to go, so make sure you're prepared with the proper safety equipment. You got radios and EPIRBs or PLBs, whatever you got. If you're gonna head this far west, this is the fuel range for a lot of people out in this area. It's not just traveling to and from, but if you're out here looking for bluefin, you're gonna be driving around a lot too. So kind of factor that into your fuel calculations too when you're out here traveling. But that's it for this week, guys. We'll catch you next week, and hopefully get to pound some fish. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out our website and online store at chasingprojects.com. And make sure you share the stoke.